Hello! Today for math, you are going to be asked to find the area and perimeter of a room in your house. Okay, you can see for this example, and this is going to be posted online for you too, I have an example of my dining room. It's a little small. Here you can see I have a picture where I've drawn and I have labeled the sides. Okay, you will be finding the area, which you can represent by saying A is equal to, don't forget area is in square units. In this case we're using feet. Okay, so square feet, that's what this little 2 means, squared. And perimeter, you would just label as feet. Okay, quick reminder, area is length times width. Perimeter, you can do it 2 different ways. Okay, you can do 2 times L length plus 2 times width, or you can just add the sides together, length plus width, or length plus width plus width. Okay, before we keep going on this, I want to talk to you guys about using a measuring tape correctly. Okay, so a couple of things. When you're looking at a measuring tape, you will see that it is in feet and inches. Okay, so these little markings down here are when we're talking about getting smaller than an inch. We are going to keep it to feet. Okay, so to remind you, there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Now, your measuring tape may look a little different than mine, but most measuring tapes have some kind of mark when you get to the foot. So for every 12 inches, okay, it will tell you how many feet there are. So 12 inches would be 1 foot. When you get to 24 inches, that would be 2 feet, so on, so forth. Okay, so a couple of things. This button here is a lock button. Okay, so you see if you pull this out and press your button down, that's going to keep your measuring tape out so you don't have to hold it. But please know that when you push the button to release it, it snaps pretty quickly, so watch your fingers. Something else that I want to make you aware about, measuring tapes are kind of expensive, so make sure you're treating it as a tool, not a toy. But if you have a really large room and you have this thing pulled way out, and you get to a part, I'm not going to pull this all the way out, but you get to a point where you're almost at the end, your measuring tape is probably going to give you some kind of red line or say stop or something that's like, pump the brakes. Make sure that you do that, okay? Because if you pull it past that point, you are going to ruin the measuring tape, and then it might not be able to be saved. Okay. Maybe you have a measuring tape that looks like this, and that's okay. Normally this is used for things like fabric and stuff, but maybe this is what you have laying around. That's fine. You're just going to have to probably use it and then hold your finger there at the end of it and come back and line it up and add together. Okay, if that makes sense. If for some reason you don't have a measuring tape, you can just use your feet to measure. Okay, let's pretend these are my feet. So you are going to start, okay, let's say this is, my video is freezing, there we go, sorry. Let's say this is the wall, okay, you would put your heel right up against that, okay, and then you would put your foot touching your other foot, put your foot touching your other foot, and count your feet as you walk. Okay, that'd be one way to do it. Okay, something I forgot to say, when you measure this, again, it's going to go right up against the wall. You may have to have somebody help you and hold it, okay, and then measure all the way to the other side. Now, most shapes are going to be a square or a rectangle, and the beautiful thing that we know about rectangles is if we have measured this side, well, we know that this side's going to be equal to it, okay? Same thing up here. Once you measure this side's going to be equal to it, Okay, so save yourself a little work with that. Okay, hopefully you have fun. When you're measuring, let's say you come to 26 inches. Okay, make sure you're staying consistent. And to stay consistent, we are just going to round to the nearest foot rather than using inches. So let's say your room comes to here. That would be a very small room, but let's pretend. Okay, 26 or 27. We're gonna go, okay, well, that's close to 2 feet. Okay, so I would just label my side 2 feet.